Hi everybody, it's Casey Williams. This past weekend we had a 4-hour interstate drive to visit some family members. And when my family found out that we were taking a Toyota Camry and not some high-powered luxury car, they weren't terribly excited about it. But it turns out the vehicle we have this week was absolutely perfect for the drive. It's the 2023 Toyota Camry XLE Hybrid. Let's go have a look at it. The Camry gets a bad rap as being a boring car only your grandmother would drive. And I think that's absolutely not fair. And I think to start with, the stylists of this generation did a pretty good job of making the car a lot more exciting without offending those that traditionally buy the car. I mean, it really starts in the front. I like the look. You know, the front of this is supposed to kind of hint at the Formula One cars. Down below, again, it just looks really sporty with the horizontal bars. These are the dark gray on this package. I think it looks nice. The squinty LED headlamps. Yeah, I think the car just looks really good. There's a lot more ribs, a lot more bulges, just a lot more style and sculpture than in previous Camrys. And this being the hybrid, we got the 18-inch alloy wheels. Again, I just kind of like the character lines down the side, like kind of this thick spline down here, upturn here. And I really like the rear roof line. It just gives a little bit of dignity in the back. Kind of hints at, you know, some upscale luxury cars, maybe a little bit Rolls-Royce-ish, maybe a little bit like the Genesis. But I really like this too, and I like how it's kind of creased. Camera on the back, the deck lid, again, kind of hints at some of the older BMWs. Trunk's not overly large, but it's big enough for 2 to 4 people to get away for the weekend. Back seats do fold down. It's easy to fold them down. Just pull these handles, seats flip, and plenty of space there. The thing I like the most about the Camry, I think, is just the solid build quality of the car. I mean, everything from the way the door closed with a nice solid thunk, just the way everything's put together. Again, it's not always especially fancy, but it just feels like it's going to work, and it's going to work for a very long time. But in this generation of Camry, I think the feel is a lot more Lexus and a lot less traditional Toyota. And it really starts here on the dash. I mean, I love the wood grain, it looks really pretty. I like the stitch coverings. I like the dark stitching on the light and the dark on the light. I think it just all looks really elegant, real classy. With some of the black piano finish here in the center as well. Again, I mean, it's fake. I mean, if you really start tapping on it, but I think it's really well done and really nice, especially for the price point of this car. Seats, they're heated and ventilated in the front, leather. I think they're nice. Nice heated, thick heated leather wrapped steering wheel. And the infotainment system is very easy to use. Again, it's a nice glossy screen, but it's very intuitive. You got the menu, you got the audio settings, nav, phone. Very easy to figure out what's what. Volume, tuning knobs. You can swipe screen if you want to, but it's just, again, if you're 8 or 80, it's easy to figure it out. Down below, dual zone automatic climate control. Coming down a level more, got the USB ports here, power ports here in the console. And this, I think this is really clever here. Take the phone, and there's a charging tray. And a lot of cars have wireless charging, but I like that this one you can push it, and it just kind of pushes it back into the dashboard, and you still have a cubby here to store things, and the little lights on so you know your phone's being charged. Nice deep cup holders. Here are the switches for the heated and ventilated seats. Nice deep cubby here. More USB ports. Works really well. Gauge layout. This actually has a heads-up display. It looks like it's looks like the speedometer and the navigation and the safety system's kind of hovering out over the hood. For some reason, there's a little bit of distortion in this one. It's kind of like when you go to the eye doctor and the eye doctor starts flipping the little things back and forth. It's kind of like the blurry version of that. You can see it. With polarized sunglasses, it's even harder to see, but it's not even clear just with straight eyesight. But I do like the idea that it's there, though, and you do have a heads-up display. The rest of the gauge is pretty simple to understand. This has the JBL audio system. I think it sounds very good. It's got a subwoofer. Again, just crank up the music. Sounds nice. The power glass roof above. And there's a lot of safety gear on this car. Toyota's really put a lot of emphasis in recent years on safety, crash avoidance technology, especially knowing that they've got families in these cars, sometimes older drivers as well. This car has automatic emergency braking, has radar adaptive cruise control, so it keeps a safe distance on the highway. Lane keep assist. It has rear crosspath detection with the auto brake. Lane keep assist, and then, like I said, it also has the lane tracing system. So when you're on the highway, it actually keeps the car in the center of the lane. And some of these systems, it nudges it really hard. It's kind of scary. This doesn't. It's very gentle. It just kind of gently steers the car back to the center of the lane and keeps you safe. So I'm really impressed with the car, the interior, the space, but also the safety systems too. It turned out to be the perfect car to take on a long trip. So this is the hybrid. It has a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, continuously variable transmission, lithium-ion batteries. So all combined, you've got 208 horsepower. And I've heard some people kind of complain, it's like, well, it doesn't accelerate fast enough, it's not especially powerful. I went back and checked the numbers just for comparison. A 1985 Camaro IROC Z had 215 horsepower. If you got the uncarbureted version of it, you were less than 200 horsepower. So you've got a car that's got plenty of power. I mean, let's just be real about it. But also being a hybrid, 44 miles per gallon in the city, 47 on the highway. So you have a very efficient car. You know, we drove 4 hours on the interstate and didn't even use a half a tank of gas. Very efficient, very smooth. You know, running above the speed limit. I think there's, again, plenty of power, just plenty there. A nice torquey feel from the electric powertrain. But beyond that, I'm just driving the car. It just feels what you'd expect. It just feels solid. You go over rough pavement, just boom, 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 boom. Nothing squeaks, creaks, or rattles anywhere in the car. And unlike some of the past Camrys, this one handles pretty well. It's really well balanced. You push this in a corner, it handles pretty well. Again, it's not a sports car. It's not a rear drive sports car. It's a front wheel drive hybrid sedan that you can get 4 people in very comfortably. But it's not a miserable car to drive. And you know, you take this car on a 2-lane road and on the weekends, and I think you'd actually enjoy driving it. So overall, it's just been a very nice week. So being a Camry, it also comes with a value pack price. The base Camry starts just over $28,000. This one fully equipped, everything on it, $40,232. And I think, again, for a hybrid that gets the kind of gas mileage this has, all the luxury features, that's a really good deal. Well, next week we'll have another fun car. And until then, storm forward.